Hello.
Hi everyone, and welcome to FTB. And today's show is all going to be about the prediction for the Premier League review coming up this weekend. We're joined by Ian, we're joined by Ashley, and we're joined by Paul today, who is a brand new guest with us, part of the FTB admins. So today, guys, we're going to go through all the fixtures. We're going to pick out some games that's coming up. Mouth-watering games, should I say. And to kick it off, remember, guys, please like, please subscribe. And also remember, we're sponsored by Moss Bros with your 15% discount. But at the moment, because of lockdown, you cannot use it until we get back to normality. So the first one we're going to hit with, guys, is Ian. Passion of yours, a bit of love by yours as well. We're going to start off with the Crystal Palace game versus Newcastle, kicking off today at 8 o'clock tonight kickoff. Okay, so Ian.
Okay, yeah. First thing I just wanted to say is it's a little bit of a strange relationship. Man City are definitely the wife. You know, I've been watching them since I was a kid many decades ago in Manchester. I moved to London about 15 years ago, so I've had a season ticket at Palace because I just love the ground, love the atmosphere, got some good mates there. But it is a really strange bit of loyalty, so I love watching Palace. The first thing I want to say is I don't get these fixtures. You know, Newcastle played the first game against Chelsea last Saturday. Palace played Monday. And yet Palace, Newcastle, Friday night, that seems completely bonkers to me. It's nearly as bonkers as United playing Tuesday and Sunday and City and Liverpool playing Wednesday, Saturday. It's like someone, you know, brown paper bag, money and all. One certain clubs to win and others not. Is there a down the bookies situation going on? However, Corona strikes again, and two significant players out for Palace. Obviously, Wilf, which is a super big deal. I didn't think he was as talismanic as it would have appeared the other day. I thought that Eze would have been able to fill in, and there was quite a strong team. But I actually think that they missed Luca as much as they missed Zaha. The defence was all over the place for Palace last Monday, all over the place. I've never seen Dan as inconsistent, and you know, it was weird. But maybe that was because no one was managing them in front of the back four rather than their individual ability. So I think those two are two significant players to miss out on. At the same time, I couldn't get my head around the Palace performance. I didn't get it at all. Usually they are really disciplined, really well marshalled by Roy, and you know, they're like a team that never played together. Bizarre. But Roy being Roy will have put it right, I think.
Yes.
Everyone will expect Palace to lose because of the gap in the fixtures and have a conspiracy theory, but I think Palace will win tonight.
Yeah. What's your score prediction?
Palace don't usually do that many goals, so I would probably say it's going to be... I'm just going to say 1-0.
1-0.
Yeah.
Paul, as our new guest, what's your prediction?
I'm going to have to agree with that prediction. I think with the injuries that Palace have, it's going to have a big effect on the firepower. And Newcastle, they're not a weak side. They're quite a resilient side. So I think Newcastle are going to nick this one.
Yeah.
I'll go 2-1 Newcastle.
Okay. Ashley?
2-0 Crystal Palace. Just because they've got better players. Simple as that. They're slightly better.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't see. I don't know the last results. I don't know who won the last game.
Palace lost 1-0 midweek game to Burnley, and also Newcastle lost 3-0 to Chelsea. But the 3-0 result that Newcastle had was basically it could have been 6 or 7.
Right, I'll go for a draw.
Yeah. So you're going for a draw, yeah?
Okay.
Just a quick question, guys.
Yeah.
In Newcastle's previous games, has anybody actually battered them? I don't think anyone has.
Chelsea did the last game. Apart from Chelsea.
Chelsea were talking. It's a different league, Chelsea.
Yeah.
So,
well, United did as well.
Okay. What was the score?
United beat them 4-1 or something like that.
Was that early in the season? Was that?
Yeah, that was like about 3-4 games ago.
Okay.
So who's Newcastle's main striker this season? Like the main
they've
guy?
got Harry Wilson, but he was injured the last game.
Yeah.
So he was out injured, and he might not be back for this game either.
What happened to the Brazilian guy that Jolin?
He's a hit and miss for me, to be honest with you. Jolin, hit and miss. Now and again he turns up. It depends on what he's thinking about. But for me, it's a hit and miss for me. It's hit and miss for me, Jolin.
I'm going to stick to my prediction.
Yeah?
Sticking with it.
Okay. So Paul gone for a Newcastle win. Ian's gone for a Palace, and Ashley gone for a draw, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for a Palace 1-0 win.
Can I make one more comment, Errol?
Yeah, go on.
You know, Wednesday I was talking about those players like Matic and Sissoko who win a new contract and they're just pants for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Well, Saint Emilion, is it Saint Emilion? Saints and
yeah, something like that. Saint Emilion, yeah.
Yeah, the guy at Newcastle again signed a 6-year contract they gave him, and almost instantaneously he goes below average on them. And I think he's out with whatever tonight, but he would have been benched anyway. And again, that's just a little theory I have, that there are certain players who play up for a good contract and then disappear.
Yeah. Thanks, Romeo. Yes, it was 4-1. Romeo just said United won 4-1. Thanks for your for that. Also, thanks, Charles, for the support as always. Really appreciate it. So now we're going to go into the Brighton versus Liverpool game. At the moment, this one's going to be for you, Ash. Brighton at the moment at home seem to play really good football. Really, really good football. Positive by the manager. They've got this new left. Well, he's not new, but he's Chelsea Academy. He's going to be up for the game because he got sent off in the last game. But really, really good, really positive young man he is. So, Ash, let's start off. That's a 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. What's your score? What's your prediction?
4-0, maybe 5-0 to Liverpool, because I can't remember Jurgen coming in and losing 2 games in a row. We just lost to Atalanta, so we're going to bounce back and beat Brighton to death. Yeah.
So what score are you going with that then? Because for me, Liverpool have got Henderson should he trained today, like light training. But Salah should be back after COVID, But this VD obviously is out for a long period of time. Whether or not he comes back the same player, we don't know. Fingers crossed he comes back and be the player he was. For some of us, we hope he doesn't. But,
of course he will.
So for us, so Brighton versus Liverpool, you're going with what score, Ash?
4-0.
4-0.
Yeah.
Ian?
I don't think it will be that easy. I have to say, respect to Liverpool, respect. You know, last week they made Leicester look average, bearing in mind they had loads of players injured, and somehow they made, which is quite a smart team, Leicester, quite a clever manager.
Yeah.
Look average, and so I take my hat off because I think the whole nation thought Liverpool would struggle there, and actually they strolled it. On paper, you'd say with the gap that they've got of Liverpool, very short league time since their European match, that they would struggle. And I do rate Graham Potter. I think he's a very, very sound manager, and everything we'll watch him and Brian are exciting. But again, I thought Klopp played his mathematics really well, looking at the points he had to do to qualify in Europe, but rested loads of players, plays lots of young players, took that gamble, okay, lost. But, you know, what the heck? I think he'd done his sums right to know he could qualify anyway. Under normal circumstances, you know, and I was quite cross again at Pep Guardiola. He played almost a full-strength side for Europe, like he's given up on the league, apart from De Bruyne. And I think he might, you know, that City might struggle as a result of that. But Klopp rested so many players. I'm not 4-0. I think it'll be much tighter than that. Potter's too good a manager. Brighton are too good a team. They don't get the home advantage crowd. I accept that because it's a fairly neutralish atmospheric ground anyway. Yeah. They wouldn't have got much of an advantage. I think my prediction would be, you're going to hate me for this, Ash, I think it's going to be 2-2. I think it's going to go nip and tuck each way. You know, goal ahead by Liverpool, goal back by Brighton, goal ahead for Liverpool, goal back by Brighton. Yeah. But they may have the legs. Brighton will have the legs at the back end of the
Yeah. Paul?
Yeah, I'm gonna echo a similar statement to Ian. Liverpool have proved they can hold their own without certain star players.
Yes.
So yeah, there's no doubt about it. They can. As much as I hate to say it, but yeah, they can.
Yeah.
So on that note, I'm going to go with Ashley's prediction.
Yes.
3-4-0. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to give that to Liverpool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Adam has come back and said Brighton 1-0. Smiley face.
Good luck with that one, Adam.
What was the last scoreline between Liverpool and Brighton? I can't remember.
No, I don't. And then you got Romeo. You got Romeo as well at the moment. He has come in and said that quick one on this one, Ian. Do you believe Brighton's underrated? Because Romeo has come back and said Brighton's the most underrated team.
Yeah, I very, very much agree. I think Graham Potter is a manager of the future. He's got a well-organised team. Yeah, I do think agree.
Yeah. I'm going to go on my prediction is going to be I'm going to say 2-1 Liverpool. Very close game, but 2-1 Liverpool.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Brighton. Well, for me, I wouldn't say Brighton were underrated because they can be very resilient at times, and they have given a lot of top clubs a lot of problems.
Like Man United.
Yeah, like Man United, for instance. So I wouldn't say they're underrated, but they can be a good side when they want to be, man.
Yeah,
definitely.
100%.
They're down there in what? They're near the relegation zone. I think they're where they deserve to be. What have they done? What have they done?
That's your call.
Why does anybody give Brighton ratings though?
They're a good team.
They can be. They can be
below Leeds United. They're below Leeds United.
Yeah. So before we move on to the next game, which I'm going to get Ian to kick off with, can you please subscribe, put your comments in, and we'll get back to you as you go along, guys. Remember, we are sponsored by Moss Bros, and at the moment, because of lockdown, wait until everything picked up to get your 15% code off, okay? In store only. So let's start off with now Man City versus Burnley. Ian, take us away.
It's I don't think City will be at their best. I think they had something like 21 goals on target versus Atlanta's 0 to manage to get a 1-0 scoreline. And if you project that, then if we're going to win 2-0, they're going to have 40 shots on goal. But at least, Aguero got a run out there, Mendy got a run out there, so at least there's a more list to be able to pick from in all the different positions, and a relatively fresh De Bruyne. I think, thank goodness, City are playing Burnley. I think they will have too much for them, and I think they'll win 2 or 3-0. Thank goodness. But if they were away at a more troublesome team, at a West Ham or a Wolves or an Everton, City would struggle on Saturday. So thank goodness for what looked like a soft early. I think City put about an average of about 4 goals past Burnley in the last 3 games. So I'd just say thank goodness for this fixture.
Yeah. Paul, what do you reckon? So sorry, Ian, what score are you going with there for them? Would that be a 2-0 or
2-0?
2-0. Brilliant, thank you. Paul?
Yeah, I mean, with City's run of form of late, they've been great. However, I still say they've got this one. The scoreline's not going to be too big. It's going to be like a 2-0, maybe a 2-1. Burnley, they're struggling, but like I said, City, there's something missing in that chain there. So
yeah.
I
think they're missing in a striker. I think they're missing strikers in City.
Yeah, but you say they're missing a striker. Burn, I don't know what's going on with him lately. He's not firing on all cylinders. There's something not right. But I'll go for a City win, 2-0.
Okay, Ashley.
I'm going for a Burnley win, 1-0 Burnley, and if Pep Guardiola don't win this game, he needs sacking straight away. Look where they are at the table. No excuse. All that money spent. Look where they
I
are.
think they have to remortgage the club to afford that now with a new contract.
Yeah.
So what score are you going with there for us, Ash?
1-0 Burnley.
1-0 Burnley. Okay.
Yeah, Sean
wow.
Dyche is going to come through. Sean Dyche.
Yeah. So at the moment we've got from Adam.
Dreamer.
Yeah.
Can I just add
Burnley.
one more thing? If Aguero does score a hat trick, I hope he sends Roy Keane his shorts.
Yeah. Adam has said Brighton play great football. They just need a out-to-out goal scorer, which he's right with. I believe so. City gonna win 4-2 against Burnley. Put them under pressure. That's from Romeo. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna say it's gonna be a tough game. Burnley picked up their first 3 points so far this season against Crystal Palace. I'm gonna go for a Man City 3-0 win. That moves us on now to Everton versus Leeds. Now, this is going to be a mouth-watering game. For me, this is going to be game of the weekend for Saturday anyway. From all the fixtures from Saturday, that will be game of the Saturday. So start kicking off with Ashley. Everton versus Leeds.
I think Everton are going to win that one. James Rodriguez is going to tear them apart. I'm going with 2-0 to Everton. Wait a minute though. Is it at Ellen Road or is it?
It's at Everton.
All right, yeah, 2-0 Everton.
Yeah, 2-0 Everton.
Yeah.
And Paul, what we're looking at?
Boy, yeah, tough one.
It's a tough game,
one.
isn't it? Bielsa up against Ancelotti, two of the greatest managers.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy,
I've got Calvert-Lewin as well.
With this one because it can go either way. So I'm gonna go draw.
Draw.
Either 0-0 or 1-1.
1-1, 0-0. Okay.
Yeah.
And like you touched on it, Ashley, quickly before I go to Ian. Calvert-Lewin at the moment, he can't stop scoring, can he?
Nope. He's on some form in this.
He's on a very good form. But they were very lucky last week against Fulham. They're very lucky scraping 4-3. Extremely lucky. Ian, what do you think the score would be? Very tough game, I believe. Game of for Saturday for me anyway would be Leeds versus Everton versus Leeds at 5:30 kickoff.
Yeah, if there's any neutrals who just want to watch a game of football, I think this is the one to them. I think Everton will miss Ding, their left back.
Yes.
Again, if I was putting my top 5 left backs in the Premier League together, he would be inside my top 5. I think Lucas Digne, they're terrific left back. They're going to miss him a lot. But I think Everton, particularly Rodriguez and Calvert-Lewin, will have a bit too much for Leeds.
Yeah.
It'll be a heck of a game. I think 3-2 Everton.
3-2. So we got Romeo, who's put it as a 3-3 draw. Everton.
I nearly went 3-3. I was really umming and ahhing about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bamford might do something.
I don't think it's going to be a 6-goal game.
Yeah.
It's going to be too competitive for that.
Hugler Costa, that's a good one. So, okay, so I'm going to go with tough one. I'm going to go 1-1. Difficult game. Very hard. So now, 2 games. Again, United was it's the West Brom Sheffield United game. United was very lucky against West Brom. So was Spurs of the time, and United got penalty. Obviously, Spurs got a 1-0 win against them. So they're a very hard team to break down, West Brom. But at the moment, Ashley, let's kick off with West Brom versus Sheffield United.
I think it's got draw written all over it. Are they both scoring goals? Loads of goals?
Nope, neither of them.
There we go. Maybe 1-1.
Maybe 1-1. Okay. So the next one, Paul?
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-0 West Brom.
1-0 West Brom. Yeah, Ian?
I think it will definitely be the lowest watched game of the week. Unfortunately. And who could not love Slaven Bilic? You know, everyone's kind of got a war place for Slaven Bilic, so, you know, I hope for him that West Brom stay up, but I don't think there'll be a goal. I think it's going to be 0-0, and I think wilder it is that Sheffield United become more and more pressure.
Yeah. Go back to the Everton game. Stephen just said if Everton have their top players available, they will win.
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah. For me, I'm looking at both of these teams. Both of these teams at the moment haven't won a game this season. They have not won a game this season. West Brom, again, for me, they're very unlucky against United, very unlucky against Tottenham. But looking at their form, looking at Sheffield United as well, very poor at the moment. Those two teams for me with Fulham are getting relegated.
You're right.
That's what I'll predict anyway. So now that's the Saturday games. Guys, remember again, we're sponsored by Moss Bros. Please like, subscribe, follow us, leave your comments, and we'll get back to you as well with everything. So the next game now, Sunday, 2 p.m. kickoff is going to be Southampton versus Manchester United. That game now is going to have goals in it. Goals, and more goals in it. But who wins the game? Paul.
Okay. Another tough one. Thank you.
That's all right. You're welcome.
United blowing hot and cold. Southampton steadyish run. I'm going 2-1 United.
2-1 United.
Yeah.
Ian?
Back to my, I wonder who bunged who some money to me.
It wasn't me.
If they were playing Saturday, I'd be super confident Southampton would beat United. With that extra day's rest that they bought, I think that United have more of a chance of getting at least a point against Southampton, but I think they're going to find it difficult. I would forecast, there you go, 2-1 Southampton.
Yeah. Ashley?
1-1 draw. I think Bruno Fernandes is going to get like a 96th minute penalty to rescue Man United. For me,
looking at it, Southampton's got no Danny Ings, so he's out. And for United, I think the only injury at the moment is Luke Shaw, and that's about it, really.
That's a good thing. If he's to get in the gym.
For me, I'm actually going to go with a 3-1.
Can we do a penalty prediction?
Yeah, we can. We can.
Yeah, I think United will get a penalty. There's my prediction.
Yeah. Bruno Fernandes to do the little hop. And if he misses, he's going to get the chance to retake it as well.
But saying that, the last penalty he took, basically he gave it. Last penalty he had, he gave it to
Yeah, he gave it to
Rashford.
Yeah.
Ian, they've done a prediction
Unbelievable.
They've done a prediction with whether or not United will get a penalty. What are your thoughts?
Money talks, and if they're not winning, I'm sure a penalty will somehow miraculously appear.
Yeah.
Adam just came on saying he reckons Southampton beat United 2-1.
Good man, Adam. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Not bad shout.
Yeah, it's a good shout. Now, game of Sunday. Well, I've got 2 games of Sunday, but this one will be the standout one. Chelsea, who spent nearly 200 million, and has Jose turned the corner and now have his team that he's desired for the last 4 or 5 years. Chelsea versus Spurs. Paul, let's talk about this now, being a Tottenham fan.
Okay. Both playing well.
Chelsea are not conceding goals either, remember?
Yeah. I hear that. This is a difficult one because Chelsea, if we was to weigh up the times, that amount of times they've beaten us, we've beaten them. Obviously, they've beaten us more times. However, this is a different Spurs team now.
Yeah.
And some of the Spurs teams of old have beaten Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think Jose, I'm hoping he masterminds this one correctly. Because Spurs
it's
are
the
more...
master against the apprentice, isn't it?
It's the master against the apprentice. And see, this is a difficult one for me because I got to not follow my heart.
Yeah.
So, and I got to try and be as real as possible. And if I was to be real as possible, I'm going for a draw.
Draw,
I'm going for a draw. Yeah.
Score draw or 0-0 draw?
Bloody hell.
Oh, come on. We've got to do it. We've got to do it somehow. We need it.
Okay, I'm going for a score draw and Heung-min Sing to score.
Okay. Now, I've got to come back to you in a minute about something, Paul. Let's go. Ian.
Okay, I'm going to say 1-0 Spurs, and am I allowed to rant? Can I
Yes,
rant?
you can. Of course you can.
Right, okay,
You have
I'm
the
going
rant.
to really rant. Okay, you know, when you're talking to your kids in years to come and you're talking about the glory days of football and you'll talk about Venables and Hoddle and you'll talk, you know, maybe about Cruyff in a week where Maradona was there, are you really going to talk about Sam Allardyce or Tony Pulis or Jose Mourinho? Because they're out of the same breath playing incredibly negative football. Having watched Palace, I get it. If you've got to survive and you're Rafa Benitez at Newcastle or you're Tony Pulis or you're Sam Allardyce, if you've got to survive in that club, I get it. I totally get it. But, you know, this is meant to be a beautiful game. This is meant to be the thrill, the centrepiece of our lives. And if you aspire to be champions of the Premier League, you really, really want to be remembered for playing it the bloody Sam Allardyce way? Are you going to go down in folklore? Or will Glenn Hoddle be pissing his pants when that happens? Because it's great to Glenn Hoddle's legacy for those Spurs fans to say, oh, we're doing well, we're top of the league. Great.
Yeah.
Top of the league, playing like Sam Allardyce. Good luck to you. I hope you remember this season. All right, it might be 1-0, but he's no master. He's no master. He plays 80s Italian football. Nah, forget it.
We just lost Ashley for a minute.
Our beautiful game is better than that. And if we're going to have a Premier League champions who play like a Sam Allardyce team, don't be proud, be ashamed.
Yeah. So we just lost Ashley for a second. Hopefully we'll be back in a minute. So let's go on to, before we come to Ashley to ask him the question, let's have a look now. Paul.
Yeah.
Dele Alli, what is going on? He played yesterday. He played fantastic yesterday.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I think his lifestyle played a big part in his drop in form. However, Jose's been patient with him.
Yeah.
I thought he would go, to be honest with you. I thought he'd be going. I think that game last night was the make or break for him.
Yeah.
And he came through. So that's telling me Jose's prepared to work with him a bit longer.
Yeah.
Even though some of these managers are unpredictable in their decision making.
Yeah.
However, I hope he sticks with him, and I hope Dele Alli continues to play like the way he did last night. Yeah.
Brilliant. Adam said basically Jose Mourinho know how to win. It may not be the Spurs. What is it? Hold on 1 second. Let's bring him back on. Ashley back on. Okay, Ashley's back on.
Yes, that's about that. My device overheated. It turned itself off.
No, this ain't good. Can you hear me, Ash?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, Errol.
Yes.
Just on Adam's comment there.
Yes.
That statement there is what Jose's trying to install into the team now.
Yeah.
He's trying to get them a bit more aggressive, and
it's
not about winning. It's not about winning pretty right now.
Yeah.
Which I get, even though everybody likes the pretty football, but results
count. Yeah.
No, I disagree with that. Results count if you want to just stay in the Premier League. If you want to win the Premier League deserves better football than that. I actually believe that if Glenn Hoddle was still, playing the game, Jose would bench him, and I think that's I think the man's a disgrace. I will never remember him for beautiful football. In a week when Maradona dies, do a favour to the game, mate. Play some football.
Well, and also touched on that subject, Ian. Basically, we've lost a legend. They've got the man who want every youngster to play football, absolute legend, and his funeral's today, so he will never be forgotten. We'll always remember Diego Maradona on the pitch for what he's contributed to all of us as youngsters.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Ash, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't hear you that well. So hopefully it's not interfering with what's going on, but you probably hear. So the Chelsea Spurs game, what's your prediction for the score?
This is the easiest one to predict out of all of them. There's no way that Jose is losing to his pupil. Look what he just did to Pep Guardiola.
Can everyone hear Ashley?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's me then. So go on, Ash.
Yeah, so Jose is going to smash him like 3-0 because...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
What
So,
was that, actually? What did you say?
3-0 Spurs.
3-0 Spurs?
3-0 Spurs. There's no way Jose is losing this match.
Okay.
No
I
way.
think he's very... You know what, though? I think Jose Mourinho has got his swagger back. I know
Yeah,
he
yeah.
doesn't play attractive football or anything like that, but I just think when you watch him in his press conference and everything at the moment, it's just like he's got that... When I watch him at United, when he's on press conference, it's like his shoulders was like this. Someone's on his shoulders holding him down. Now I see him, the way the swagger, he's swaggering. He just knows, because what I look at Jose Mourinho, and I think of Jose Mourinho, when he went to Chelsea, when he went to Porto, Porto had a team, but they just needed that little sort of, that little sprinkle just to get it right. And he came in and he did it. He then went to Chelsea, where Chelsea was the same. Ranieri made the team. He then came in and he just put 3 or 4 more new players on. Done. Sorted. Unfortunately, at Man United, it didn't work that way. Because Man United are in so turmoil at the moment. It's embarrassing at the moment as a club. But then he's gone now.
Why do you think it went wrong at Man U?
Because he didn't have a team when he went to Man United. Some of these players has been there since Ferguson and haven't left. You got to think some of these players been there since Louis, since Ferguson, haven't left the club. Now he's gone to Spurs, and Pochettino has done exactly what Ranieri did. He's come in.
Do you remember when Sam Allardyce was the manager of West Ham and he got them in the top half of the league, and the West Ham supporters were still absolutely very much against him? And, they said you didn't play the West Ham way. Well, I'd just say respect to West Ham, where they have a desire to play the beautiful game more than they have to just park the bus.
Yeah.
The Spurs fans are prepared to prostitute themselves to win the Premier League. Good luck to them. But West Ham wouldn't. They wanted love. Spurs want prostitution.
Romeo just put down on here, Jose is a great manager. Some people don't even know what he's won in the game. If I'm right to say, Jose has won about 56 trophies, hasn't he?
Boy.
As a manager. And he's what, 51?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great achievement, but I understand what Ian's saying, though. The football at times.
Capello also won a heck of a lot of trophies, but I'm not sure I wanted to watch one of his teams.
Okay, now for me, a banana skin game. Arsenal versus Wolves. Ashley.
Draw. It's got draw written all over it. Yeah.
Before I go into more details, Aubameyang signed this whole thing with Aubameyang. He signed a new contract, and he's only scored 1 goal, and that was a penalty against Man United.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
Yeah. Again, I think, Ian, we spoke about this as well. So I'm going to go prediction, but while it's in my head fresh now, Ian, we spoke about this on the show on Wednesday night about selling Jota for 45 million. Wolves.
Yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised that Wolves, maybe lack of ambition, not to keep hold of him. He's 22 years old versus Jimenez, who's 29. You want to build a club around him rather than Jimenez. And I was surprised they let him go for that amount of money with the level of ambition.
They had no choice. So imagine having a player, he could go to like the greatest club in the world. He'd be unhappy at Wolves, if like Liverpool come in and the Wolves said no. He's not.
Yeah, transfer request. He put in a transfer request.
Yeah, so Wolves had no choice. He had to go. Once Liverpool came, Wolves didn't have a choice.
Me as a person, I always say put him in a reserve, let him rot.
Then I always find that very sad. I commented on Wednesday that Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, all they do in their league go, I'll have that one, and that's it. Yeah. And I didn't think that the Premier League was quite as mercenary as that.
Yeah,
I think that's a bit of a shame, really, for Wolves. Yeah. And if that's the case, I didn't know that. Yeah. In terms of that game, I think it will be interesting. I still think Wolves have got a lot in the tank. I don't know what's happened to Traore. I mean, he thought he was...
He doesn't really play. He started his first game last week. He started his first game.
He looked as though...
He thought he was going to Liverpool, and the Liverpool move crashed through, so Traore...
Yeah.
Yeah, so I worry that Arteta's running out a bit of steam there, and there's maybe a disharmony. It could be that Wolves are the club to tip him over the edge there. I'm not saying they'll get rid of him, but they could exert a lot of pressure on Arsenal. I think Wolves could win that one. I think it could be a 1-0 Wolves, 2-1 Wolves. I think there's danger there for Arsenal. Danger for
even though they made 8 they sort of like did 8 changes yesterday to play against Solskjaer's old team Molde. They weren't comfortable, but at the same time, Partey seems
performance. I might have changed 8 players as well. Though.
Yeah, Partey seems like for the last few games he was good against Man United. He's phenomenal, but that was against an average Man United team that didn't turn up. But since then, he hasn't really shown up, has he? So, Paul, what's your prediction? Arsenal Wolves.
Okay, Arsenal Wolves. Despite Arsenal's form of late, Wolves are definitely going to give them some problems.
Yeah.
Definitely going to give them some problems. However, I'm going to go for a 1-0 Arsenal.
Yep.
Yeah, 1-0 Arsenal is going to be a crap goal. 1-0 Arsenal. It's going to be one of them scrappy ones.
Yeah.
Arsenal are going to struggle. However, if they lose this one, it's going to be very, very, very damaging to them.
It will be, yeah. Ashley?
Yeah. I said draw. What score am I going with? 1-0.
1-0, okay. Yeah. And Ian, what would we say with that one?
No, I think Wolves will sneak it 1-0.
Yeah.
Give Arteta a bit of a headache.
Excellent. Romeo has come back and said that Maguire has scored more goals than Aubameyang this season. And he's gone for Wolves 4-0. Wolves to win 4-0.
4-0. Wow.
Yeah.
Hope so.
So before we move on to the next game, let's please like, subscribe, and remember we've got our Sunday show as well with Cully Osborne, ex-professional footballer who used to play for Brentford, AFC Wimbledon, and Millwall. Will be on our show with Jay Motta, who is one of the presenters of Full-Time Devils on this Sunday at 8:00. Please tune in. So we're moving on. 2 more games to go. Leicester versus Fulham. Brendan Rodgers are working miracles. Come on. Ian.
Fulham are improving, to be fair. And I think that signing... my brain's gone. On loan from Chelsea...
It's
the guy that signed...
yeah, I know who you're talking about, yeah.
I'll come back to him in a minute. Who started to play well in the last 20 minutes of the game? Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Yes, that's the one.
He played well in the last 20 minutes, and I thought that he was a really good on-loan signing for Fulham. And if he gets his act together, he's got a stage there that could put him into the Euros, whereas he probably didn't have that stage at Chelsea. So I'd say good luck to him and go for it.
Yeah.
But now Leicester are going to have much too much for Fulham. I think Vardy will have a party, unfortunately. They must be hurting after last weekend. It could be big. It could be like 3-0 Wolves. 3-0 Leicester, sorry.
I'm going to ask a question in this as well afterwards, because we spoke about Man United about a penalty, yeah? So we need to speak about this game afterwards. Let's get the predictions first. So, Ian, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I think Leicester will be on fire. I think it's going to be 3-0.
Okay. I'm going to say, Romeo is coming up some brave scores at the moment, you know. He's coming up some, 1-0. He's coming up some brave score. Ashley, what's your thoughts? Go on, Ash.
Fulham's opponents, my mind's just gone blank. Fulham's opponents, who are they?
It's Leicester.
Yeah, that's it. Leicester. Vardy's going to kill them off, yeah. I'm saying 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1 Leicester, yeah.
Vardy, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to say this is going to be a 3-1 game. And I'm going to say, can we make a prediction? Leicester penalty, Vardy to score penalty. Because as much as everyone talk about Man United and Bruno Fernandes penalty, can we stick in here and talk about penalty to Vardy?
Yeah, but Man United guaranteed, man. That's
guaranteed. Yeah, this is a whole different situation.
against City, so why the heck not?
Romeo, if you guys can actually see the comments, that's Romeo coming up with, right?
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Romeo's getting brave.
Right,
Romeo, appreciate all the comments.
I think I'm going to agree with Ian. Leicester's going to be too much for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vardy's going to, whether it be a penalty or a striker's goal,
yeah,
I'm not sure. Like I said, I can't really predict penalties with anybody else apart from United. So, yeah, it's going to be a Leicester win. And I'm going to go with your score, El, 3-1.
3-1. Okay.
I might even go 3-0 actually. I don't even know if
Fulham will get a
against
goal.
Leicester.
They'll get a goal. They'll get a goal. They'll get a goal.
Yeah, okay.
Last game then of the evening, 8 p.m. kickoff. It's going to be West Ham versus Aston Villa. Let's start off with Ashley. Let's go West Ham versus Villa.
Aston Villa are going to win that one. Yeah, Grealish going to tear them apart.
Yeah. But don't you... Go on, sorry, go on. Grealish, so... Go on, Ash, yeah? Grealish? So
no, nothing.
Yeah, what's the score?
2-0 to Aston Villa.
2-0. Okay, Ian, what's your prediction? What's your thoughts?
For the neutrals, if you're going to watch 2 games this weekend, there was the Leeds one, and I think this West Ham one will be another humdinger. And West Ham are well organised. Moyes has got them really well regimented. I think they've got too much discipline for Villa. I think it's going to be 2-1 to West Ham.
Yeah. For me, I would say Villa. I've got to go with Villa. West Ham's hot and cold at the moment. I'll have to say I'll go with Villa because they lost the last game. But at the same time, it's just, I don't know. Did Man United make a mistake not signing Jack Grealish?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
He's a better footballer than Paul Pogba. He would have gone straight into that team.
Absolutely. Thank goodness they didn't sign him.
Because
He's a wonderful player. He's a wonderful player.
He's a brilliant player. And again, I don't understand how it's taken this long for him to make his England debut.
Mm.
England got a strong midfield, though.
Liverpool said, "We want you, Jota," and he went down the road. Well, United, a variety of clubs said to Grealish, "We want you," and he said, "Bugger off! I'm staying at Villa and signing a new contract." So it doesn't.
He did. He signed a new contract.
It doesn't always work that way.
But the problem is, at the moment, it's it depends. For me, I look at it and I will always say, do you want to play for your manager? Do you want to play for the manager? And sometimes when I look at sort of some of these guys who play for Man United, I look at Paul Pogba and I think to myself, you're playing for Solskjaer. Who's Solskjaer? And that's the way I look at it.
He should know who Solskjaer is because he grew up in Man United youth. So if he's going to be like that, then he just needs to go. He's not even a professional footballer.
If Harry Kane's prepared to play for Jose Mourinho like he did the other day, then you would want to play for Solskjaer.
Yeah.
I don't buy that. I don't buy that.
So Adam, sorry, Ian. Adam's come back to say
he's never going to be like Neymar, a holistic player that is right for 2020. In the 2000s or 1990s, you could get away with one player who did lots of exciting things going forward, but did nothing tracking back. The game has moved on. The game has moved beyond Neymar and Pogba. You have to be an all-round performer. You have to be as good going back. You watch Harry Kane; he was awesome in every part of the field. That is a modern-day footballer. Neymar and Pogba are living in the past with their attitude upstairs and the way they play. It's not good enough anymore.
So is Lionel Messi. He plays like that as well.
But he's different, though. He's different. He's a different caliber, though. You give him the ball and he does magic.
I think Messi is... The game's moved beyond him.
Yeah. And he's struggling.
Cristiano doesn't do that. Cristiano puts his is all over the place. Messi just waits there and watches his teammates do it.
So is Ibrahimovic as well.
Yeah. So I was watching today. I was listening to some of the reports today, and apparently Paul Pogba was in training today, but apparently he's just standing around. Apparently he's just standing around the training pitch. Now I was listening to Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank talking today, and they asked him, who would you prefer in your team? Would you who's better, Ronaldo or Messi? And he said it. Messi's only played at one level, Ronaldo has played at different levels. So with Ronaldo, you put Ronaldo in your team because Ronaldo is a player that he can do it in the leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to agree with that.
So one of the comments I'd make about Messi, it's also, his performance there has also coincided with the loss of form of Busquets. Busquets, I think, allowed Messi to get away with lots of things by being one of the most awesome holding midfield players. Yeah. And without Busquets and his form losing, I think that's made Messi impotent at Barcelona.
But it's like for France as well. When you look at France, the reason why Pogba performed so well, I'm a Pogba in, I always will be, but part of the reason why he's performed so well for France is because he's a luxurious player. Everyone else does the donkey work for him, and then he does like a 50-yard pass, and greatness.
You could
at
say
Man United, you don't do that.
Argentina, since Mascherano hasn't been playing for Argentina, Messi doesn't seem to be a player anymore. He has to have that sort of like a world-class holding midfield behind him. And with all the respect to the world, Fred ain't world-class.
Yeah. Romeo saying...
I've got a question. I've got a question for you, and I've got a question for Romeo.
Yeah.
Romeo just said that you don't need Grealish. We got Van der Beek.
Yeah.
Ask Romeo, what does he need? And my question to you, what are your views on Pogba now? What do you think? What do you think should be done?
I'm a Pogba in, so for me, there's a player there. But what we need is, as United, we need someone who will go in that team and basically, like, if we got Kante or something like that, Pogba would be a better player.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If we got El Nani his name at Everton, the guy at Everton, Leicester, sorry, the defensive midfield player, the box-to-box thingy. If we have Thomas Partey, Pogba would be a better player.
All right, let me just stop you there. So let's go the opposite of what you just said. So what you're saying is Pogba is playing the way he's playing because he hasn't got a certain player in there with him. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, 100%.
He needs babysitting.
So
he needs a player who's going to come in and basically, technically speaking, do all the running for him.
Yeah, but a really world-class player adapts and overcomes. Pogba is a one-trick pony. He cannot adapt and overcome. If you haven't got a world-class holding midfielder, you adapt, you improve. Guardiola revolutionised the way that Sergio Aguero plays. He's tracking back all over the park. You watch Vardy track back. You watch track back. You have to be prepared to be a situational player, depending on who you're playing with and who's in your team. You can't just continue to do that. And that's when I talk about players being mentally strong upstairs and being really bright in the game. That's what I mean about adapting to the situation you find yourself in. And Pogba doesn't adapt.
What's your goals for and your goals against?
If I'm right to say, it's one. We scored one. It's 1-4, I believe. And if I'm right to say, it's about 13 against.
Wow.
So So at the moment, defense-wise, we're shocking. But to be honest with you, when I look at Man United, it's not just the defenders; it's top to bottom. It's top to bottom because I like to back my players, but my problem is there's certain players there when you watch them play, and we're talking about when you look at your Mo Salah, your Mane, you look at your Vardy, you look at De Bruyne, you look at sort of your Silva, you look at all these players. They track back. Yeah. When you look at Man United, if I could sit here right now and I can say to you, give you a Man United lineup, apart from the back four, and then you look at the midfield, I can only name you one player. If two players, if they do play, they will get back, and that's it. And that's Scott, and that's Fred. They're the only two players who will get back to defend. The rest of the players won't.
I can name you United's solution. And that is they go to Wijnaldum at Liverpool and they say, we'll pay you $300,000 a week. See your contract out, mate. We'll make you the biggest player in the club. And that guy is so talented, works so hard. Wijnaldum,
and he can't even get in a Liverpool team.
Yeah, he's like a Fred with mobility.
Yeah.
And there's an opportunity for you. It may cost nothing,
Yeah.
but the big weekly wages.
But then when you look at it as well, when you look at Fred, and a lot of people who don't really watch Shakhtar Donetsk before we signed him, he's half the player he is. He's so good, but I think you need a better manager. You need a better manager to get the best out of him. That's the way I look at it, because at the moment, for me, United has got a team. They have got a team, but the problem you have is you don't have the right chemistry. The manager every week changing it. Fred should be playing every week.
So we got a situation here. Well, you got a situation here where Fred needs a better manager.
Yeah.
And Pogba needs a player to play with him that he can bounce off.
Yeah.
But Pogba and Fred can't play together because we've seen them play together and they're not doing any damage.
They can't.
Fred needs to go then.
Fred, for me, I'd always keep Fred. I'm a Pogba in, but I'll always keep Fred.
So Pogba needs to go because they can't play together.
Yeah,
Pogba needs to go.
Support him. He's not mobile enough. Where he's no Wijnaldum or Busquets or Kante. You've got to have a player of that sort of dynamism to support Pogba. You've got to have a player who's all over the park. Pogba's so lazy. I've got a running machine, and Wijnaldum can do that. Fred's not mobile enough. Competitive, yes.
Yeah.
But not mobile enough. He's not a good enough athlete to support Pogba.
Yeah. So, hold on, who's that now? Marino, who's this? Solskjaer gets far
out Fred than Marino does.
Yeah. But again, for me, for some of the stuff I look at as well, when I look at Jose and I look at Solskjaer, some of the stuff that Solskjaer has got away with, any other manager wouldn't. Fans will be crying out saying he has to go, he has to go. But again, we're not going to go into the Solskjaer. This is a Premier League preview show. We'll have to do that on our Wednesday night Champions League or our football show on another day when we start organising more shows to come out. Guys, we're going to wrap up. We've gone through all the scores and everything for the fixtures. Just thanks to everyone that's watching today. Thanks, guys. Paul, pleasure having you on today.
Yeah.
And also
just
Ashley.
Go on. Just a quick reminder, this weekend, Formula One. Yeah, tune in.
We're back. Ashley, pleasure having you on. This is your first actual live show. Brilliant. Ian, we'll be back on this week for Champions League Tuesday, Wednesday. And remember, guys, please like, subscribe, and we'll be live on Sunday with Carly Osborne and Jay from the Full-Time Devil, live and exclusive at 8 o'clock regarding the Premier League reaction show. Okay, guys? Thank you, guys, for watching. Pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye.
Guys.